Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to Crestview City Council special meeting. And it is a very special meeting because of people in the audience tonight. You know, normally at the very beginning of the meeting, I welcome any VIPs we have. Real easy tonight because each and every one of you in the audience and on the sides are all VIPs. So thank you so much for coming. At this time, though, I'm going to ask you to do something real hard to do. You reach down, get hold of your little electronic devices, and shut them off or turn them down or do something to them so we don't get disturbances this evening. I appreciate that. We always begin our meeting with an invocation, so at this time I'm going to call on Reverend Broadhead from the First Presbyterian Church. Reverend has a real tight connection with the city, and I'm proud to have him here this evening. And so, Reverend, wherever you are, there he is. Please stand.
Let us pray. Gracious God, we give you thanks and praise for the wonder of each day that you give to us. And this evening, we can continue to offer our words of thanks and praise for the way that the new chapter in the life of this city continues to unfold. Lord, help us to remember that change is not always easy, but when we put you in the center of it, good things can and will happen. So tonight as this meeting commences, help us to celebrate and give thanks for what is happening. And I offer this prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Please remain standing. You think that was special? I'll sit down so you can hear me. I think that was special. We really have something special tonight at our special meeting. You know, back in August, we formed our first community chorus. And tonight, for the first time in public, they're going to perform the national anthem for us. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Crestview Community Chorus. Wow. Thank you. That that brings tears of pride. If I had joined them, it would have brought tears of pain. So I'm glad they didn't invite me. But anyway, the group is led by Cecile Lindgren, and I think she'll be around in the hall later on if anybody is compelled to join them. I'm sure she will let you sign up. So thank you so much for that. Our meeting is now going to official session, and be it noted, we only have one councilman absent, and that's Councilman LaBeouf. Everybody else is here, and so we do have a quorum. Now, you might ask, why are we going through any part of the meeting if our object tonight is to recognize different organizations? This is kind of two things. Number one, we're going to introduce some of our own organizations that support you here in the city. And then secondly, we want to do a couple of actions that demonstrate how a city council meeting should take place. Notice I didn't say how it always takes place. I said it's how a city council meeting should take place, and we'll demonstrate that by some of the things we do this evening. So the first thing we do is we approve the agenda. And what I would like to recommend to the council is that they waive items 8, 9, 10, and 11, which are comments from myself, the city council members, the city manager, and the city clerk. We're here primarily for recognition, and so I would suggest that maybe we don't take any more time and add anything to the meeting. So does anybody have any objections to waiving those four items, 8, 9, 10, 11? Okay, seeing no objections, the agenda has been approved by unanimous consent. So we're going to begin this evening by recognition of retirement from one of our individuals, and I'm going to ask the city manager to join me up front for that retirement.
I'm going to bring Wayne Steve.
Well, thank you, Mr. Bolduc. I don't know, I can't think of enough good words to say about this employee. And I'm speaking of Mr. Daniel J. Bowden. Most of you know him as Danny Bowden, like I do. Danny is retiring on December the 31st of 2019 after 41 years and 8 months of service with the city of Crestview. I'd like to give you just a moment. I'd like to say something, if you don't mind, Mr. Mayor. And Danny was hired in 1978 on April the 5th as a truck driver. And in the same year, just a couple months later, he was promoted to street and sanitation supervisor. Back then, the city ran its own garbage collection. And believe me, that's a tall order to manage. And then in February of 1986, he was promoted to supervisor of construction. And during that time, in 87, 86, we had one of the public works directors to leave. So the council appointed Danny as interim public works director for 3 or 4 months there. So he not only done his current job, but he was also the public works director, public services director. In 87, his title was changed to street supervisor, and then in 1990 it was changed to streets and grounds supervisor. So he was over all building and facility grounds throughout the city, plus being street supervisor. In 1990-91, he became public works director on top of his job again. So he served in all types of capacities throughout the years. And then in 91, he was changed to roads and street foreman. And then lastly, in 2006, he was changed to roads and street supervisor. Danny has served the city for all of these years, 41 years. And when I think of Danny, I think of the word integrity, and that's what comes to my mind. I learned very much from him. Matter of fact, he hired me He hired me in 1980, the first time I came to work with the city. The very first day, he put me right over here on Virginia Street with a broom and a shovel. and when lunchtime came, I thought he had forgot about me. And the horse and carriage came back by, and I got on, and we made it back to City Hall in time for the hay and the feed. But what has happened through the years is I've come back and worked with the city and became the director of public services. I've had the opportunity to work with Danny, and I learned so much from him, and I appreciate that, Danny. I thank you so much for the calmness. I think most of all because as a young public services director, I would get anxiety as the word that came very often. In a situation that came very often, and with Danny's calmness and senior leadership, I was able to see how he reacted to things, and he taught me a lot, and I appreciate that. So once again, I'll turn things over to Mayor has something. Come on up, Danny. And this year we got his name right. I looked. The last time we had his name wrong, and we didn't have the years correct, but this time it's all right. It's all correct, Danny.
Well, Danny, I just want to offer my congratulations to you. Say that I appreciate what you do for the city. And I remember the first time you and I had a conversation. I said, about this. I said, what are you going to do? He said, take it day by day. So the real question is, what are we going to do? Hopefully, I'll be around with you. Give you appreciate again for your years of service. For that, we have appreciation.
Miss Bowden, Miss Debbie Bowden, and his son Tim he was with C's. And thank them for coming and being here on this special night.
Say something, appreciate it.
Chief Holland, would you join me up here, please? I have a couple of recognitions to make, and Chief, if you want to say anything before I do that. No? Okay. All right. What we have here is, we always talk about the great things our citizens do for us here in Crestview, or maybe interfacing with the county. But what we have tonight, two individuals I'm going to call up in just a minute, who went above and beyond that. They were doing great things for us over in Bay County. And one is Angelique Austin, and the other individual is Shelley Mosley. Come on up. I'm going to read the recognition that they received from Bay County. On behalf of the Bay County Emergency Services and all of the citizens of Bay County, I want to express my sincere gratitude for your service and assistance during Hurricane Michael response and recovery operations. It is difficult to comprehend that we are already approaching the one-year anniversary of this devastating event. And even though there is still very much work to do, without your valuable assistance, we would not be where we are today. The professionalism and compassion displayed during your time here was inspirational and gave us all the confidence that we could so we could get through this difficult time. The sacrifice you made to respond to Bay County will always be remembered, and rest assured that if you ever find yourselves in need, we will be here to assist you. As a celebrated English author and minister, John Bunyan, said, "You have not lived today until you have done something for someone who could never repay you." You have certainly lived today, as we can never repay you for what you have done for Bay County. Please know how much your efforts are appreciated and pass on to your employers and families our sincere thanks for supporting you as you assisted in our time of need. And this was signed by Joby Smith, the Emergency Management Division Chief. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to present these awards on behalf, the emergency awards on behalf of Bay County Emergency Services. That's certainly a great part of the job, to be able to recognize our individuals that work for the city and take care of us like that. This time I'm going to read a proclamation which designates this week as City Government Week. And then I'm going to call on real quickly the city manager to just tell us some of the other activities so you don't forget. If you haven't seen it in the newspaper, on Facebook, on TV, radio, wherever, we'll remind you. But anyway, proclamation. Whereas city government is the government closest to most citizens and the one with the most daily impact upon our residents. And whereas municipal government provides services and programs that enhance the quality of life for residents, making their city their home. And whereas city government is administered for and by its citizens and is dependent upon public commitment to and understanding of its many responsibilities. And whereas city government officials and employees share the responsibility to pass along the understanding of public services and their benefits. And whereas the Florida City Government Week offers an important opportunity for elected officials and city staff to spread the word to all the citizens of Florida that they can shape and influence this branch of government. And whereas the Florida City Government Week offers an important opportunity for elected officials and city staff to spread the word to all citizens of Florida that they can shape and influence this branch of government. And whereas the Florida League of Cities and its member cities have joined together to teach citizens about municipal government through a variety of activities, now therefore, by the City Council of Crestview, Florida, the City of Crestview encourages all citizens, city government officials, and employees to participate in events that recognize and celebrate Florida City Government Week. That the City of Crestview encourages educational partnerships between the city government and schools, as well as civic groups and other organizations. That the City of Crestview supports and encourages all Florida city governments to actively promote and sponsor Florida City Government Week. And that's a proclamation declaring this week the City Government Week in the City of Crestview. And now I call on the city manager to just say a few things that's going on after this evening.
Yes, sir. We have events and activities all week this week. obviously beginning tonight. At the end of this meeting, you'll have an opportunity to sign up for any of the clubs or other citizen groups that help us to do the things that we do as a community. So we're going to hang around for a little while and do that. Also get around and check out all of the different tables from what your city employees do. It's important that you get a chance to see what they do each day. And then tomorrow morning, beginning at 10 a.m., we're going to be at the library having a pancake breakfast. We have a computer automated pancake making machine that I'm trying to get them to make the face of the mayor with a pancake, but they said they tried and it broke. So they're going to they're going to do. They have some books and some other cool things that they'll be making with the pancake machine. But I hear it takes about 20 minutes to make a pancake, so we're going to throw some regular ones at you too. Also, and that begins at 10 a.m. and goes until noon, and then after that, throughout the rest of the afternoon, beginning at noon and going on into the evening, different times of the day, you'll have different council members, the city clerk, and myself will all be working at the library, checking books out, not actually taking them, but checking them out for you. And so come down there and see if you can stump us. We have no idea what we're doing, so it should be loads of fun. Most of us can read, but it should be a lot of fun. And then on Wednesday, beginning at 1 p.m., between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m., we're going to try something new this year. There's a lot of times at a council meeting where people want to come up and ask all kinds of questions that are unrelated to the business of the evening. And so what we did is we set up a Facebook Live town hall meeting from 1 to 3 p.m. on Wednesday. And so whether you're at work or wherever you are, you can log in on Facebook, watch it on CCTV. We'll have it on the city's Facebook page, and you can ask the council members any question you would like to ask them. So that ought to be good. I'll be moderating that and trying to help them not get in trouble. But take an opportunity. I was pretty surprised about that one, Mr. Mayor. I put it on Facebook and we haven't gotten a single question yet. So I'm pretty sure there's some transportation engineers out there that will ask us some good questions. And then also on Thursday afternoon, or all day on Thursday, City Hall will be closed. We're going to be doing some employee engagement things, as well as some training. So make sure that you get all of your stuff taken care of on Wednesday, or before 10:30 on Thursday, because we will be closing the office to take care of some stuff that we need to take care of. And then on Friday, we're actually going to be down at Desi's. The mayor asked me to make arrangements for the council members to wait tables somewhere, and I figured that after working with them for about 6 months, they probably shouldn't be taking orders, that maybe they can just clean the table. So we worked it out at Desi's, and they'll be doing that from 11 to 1. It'll be a good opportunity for you to come out and interact directly with your council members, and hopefully we won't spill anything on you. And then on Saturday, beginning at 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., we have our Fall Festival, which I am really looking forward to. This will be my first opportunity to see the Fall Festival. They're telling me that there's going to be like 11,000 kids sitting and hanging out with the mayor, so that's going to be exciting. And then at 6 p.m., we're going to have our family movie night, and we're going to be showing Hocus Pocus. We've gotten a tremendous amount of feedback on Facebook. Over 1,000 people have said they're going to come out, which is about 10 times what we normally get, so we're real excited about that as well. Mr. Mayor, that concludes the activities for this week.
Thank you, but I think you forgot the name of the forum on Facebook. It's called Stump the Dummy.
I would never say that.
Okay. Anyway, moving along, since you have the microphone there, City Manager, would you go ahead and introduce the city departments so everybody here knows where they're located?
Absolutely.
Maybe what they do?
Yes, sir. And it is my great pleasure to introduce to you each of our department heads for the departments at the city of Crestview. One of the things coming in as a new city manager, the first city manager, is obviously there's a little bit of anxiety about how the transition will occur. And I will say that I've had the pleasure to work with the best team I could have ever dreamed of. And we'll start with, first and foremost, we'll start over here and work our way around. Chief McCosker, will you stand up, please? This is Chief Steve McCosker. He's our new police chief, and he runs all of our policing activities over there, tries to keep those guys straight and girls. All right. And working our way around, we have Chief Tony Holland, who is our fire chief. He's been with the city for some time now, and he tries to keep me straight every day. As we continue to work our way around the building, we have our Community Development Services Director, and that's Mr. Barry Henderson. started with the city as the building official and has worked his way into the community development services director, and he's doing a fantastic job with code enforcement, planning, zoning. He's been doing some of our business navigator and some of our new activities that are going on. So check out the video of the buildings that are getting torn down over there when you get a chance. And then swinging all the way around here to the right, or to the left, my left, your right, we have our finance director, Miss Gina Toussaint. And Gina also works very hard to keep me straight. And then there's all of her staff is over there with her, and they're crazy. Bunch of accountants over there. I tell her, I'll go by and I'll ask her if she's having a good day, and she says, I'm looking at numbers, and I'm like, you're geeking me out with all that. So Gina does a great job for us. And then as we continue to move our way over, we have Miss Jean McCarthy. She is our interim library director, and she is, we just recently had our director move on to a different location, and she stepped up to the challenge and is doing a great job for us. Thank you, Jean. And then over here is our jack of all trades working the soundboard. We have Mr. Wayne Steele, who's been here for almost as long as Danny Bowden. And Wayne, just like you see him working this soundboard, honestly has been absolutely just an incredible help to me as I've transitioned. Wayne, I appreciate everything that you do for the city. Mr. Mayor, that concludes that.
Well, thank you. Before I call on the city clerk, I want to note an absence. Mayor Pro Temp Hayes got his feelings hurt when I used the expression stump the dummy, and he left the meeting. I don't know why. But anyway, he had another engagement he had to go to. Now I'm going to call on the city clerk to introduce some of our committees we have out there.
I want to come up here. They wouldn't give me a microphone tonight, so
Didn't work.
All right, these are the committees that work in the city doing different projects, different items. They're a part of the city, but they're not working at the city, but they are a very important part that keeps us going. So if you're a member of one of these committees and you're in the audience, please stand. First is the Crestview Historic Preservation Board. We have our Main Street Association. And our Sister Cities. If you're a member of Sister Cities, please stand. Everybody stand up if you're a member. We have two or three other committees around the city that help us make policy and judgments. First is the Local Planning Agency, affectionately known as LPA. We have our Board of Adjustment. Anybody? I must be out adjusting something. Our Code Enforcement Board. That's the one that they don't want anybody to know who they are anyway, so that's. And our Grant Review Board of the CRA. And one board I did miss, as you all know, our City Council also serves as our CRA board, but we have other members of the CRA board, so I'm going to ask all members of the CRA board to stand. That's y'all. And I'm going to introduce somebody because I don't know if anybody's going to do it or not, but one of the men who sits up here and sits next to me most of the time, who keeps us all straight, is our city attorney, John Holloway.
Okay, now for the next section, which y'all all been waiting for, is we recognize all the clubs and organizations in our city that make us the great city that we are. Now here are the rules, so I don't get confused. And I will call it the name of the organization. If you have a representative here who's going to come up, you can come up and use the podium, the microphone. You have 2 minutes to tell everybody what your organization or your club does. And you can also tell them that you're going to stick around and recruit people afterwards if you want to do that. If you're not going to do that, don't tell them you're going to do it. But at the same time, if a representative comes up and anybody else in that club or organization's in the audience, please stand up so we can recognize you too. Whether you're in the primary organization, an auxiliary to an organization, go ahead and stand up when that member comes up. So the first group that I'm going to recognize is the American Legion Post 75. Anybody here from the American Legion Post 75? Will come up and speak on behalf of the American Legion Post 75. Okay, nobody wants to speak? That's okay. All right. Anybody here from the Crestview Rotary Club? Crestview Rotary Club, would you come up? Now, let me warn you what happens at the end of 2 minutes. The floor drops down and you disappear.
Thank you. My name is Whitney Jacobs. I'm the president of the Crestview Rotary Club. Thank you so much for having us here this evening. We meet Wednesdays at noon at Samuel's Roadhouse. We do lots in the community. We'll have a booth Saturday at the Fall Festival. You can stop by and get more information there. I have Tim Stewart, my president-elect, is here with me, and my daughter Avery. She tags along with me pretty much everywhere I go. We sponsor the Interact Club at the high school. So if you have any kids that are involved with that, they are a part of us as well. And again, just thank you. And I will be around afterwards if anybody wants even more information. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for what you do. The Kiwanis Club of Crestview.
I'm the president of the Kiwanis Club here in Crestview. We meet on Wednesdays next door to the Rotary Club. We are a children-oriented civic group. We right now are trying to build or raising money to build a playground over at the Ed McMahon Environmental Center. Is that right? John McMahon Environmental Center. It's the Environmental Center over there. Forgive me. Do that. We also sponsor the Key Club at the high school. So if you have any kids in Key Club, they're affiliated with us. I'm going to stay here for a few minutes after all this is done. If anybody has any questions, let me know. Appreciate time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kiwanians. I understand you have some pretty nice members over there. Do we have anybody from the Knights of Columbus here this evening? Anybody for the Knights? They only come out during the daytime, is that it? That's a bad joke. All right, nobody from the Knights. How about the Crestview Elks Lodge? Anybody from the Elks Lodge? Okay, anybody going to speak on behalf of the Elks? Okay, well, we thank you for what you do. I know the next lady is here. Crestview area for the Shelter of the Homeless. Please come on down.
Thank you, Mayor, for having us. It's an honor to be recognized. I hope that everyone here knows, but I seem to meet people every day that say, I didn't know we had a homeless shelter in Crestview. But yes, we do. We are a day shelter for men, women, families with children, families with no children, anyone who has gone through the experience of homelessness. And we are open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for our day shelter, for showers, ID cards, do a little laundry, get a little case management, get a little to eat. We're feeding between 45 and 60 every time we open. Then we're also an emergency night shelter. And I get a lot of phone calls from the community say, okay, I see somebody's homeless. What can I do? How can they get in your shelter? Well, they have to come during our daytime hours so that they can do an intake. So we encourage them to come and see us. And if you have any questions, you want to talk any more after the meeting, I'll be glad to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ann. I just want to add to that, as you would well suspect, Many people need assistance. Call elected officials, and every time I call Ann, she always takes care of the needs of our people, and we really appreciate that. In fact, just kind of I'm not sure I've even told you this yet, Ann, but next month, under my cultural program, we're going to have a walk for the homeless and raise money to donate to your shelter. So we really appreciate that. Do we have a representative from the Federated Women's Club here? I know I've seen some members. Do we have anybody who's going to speak on behalf of the Women's Club? Ms. Parker, do you want to do that? Former Councilwoman Linda Parker.
Our club, I'm sure most of you know what we do, where we are. We have enjoyed serving the community of Crestview for 100 years, or maybe 101 years now. So we meet monthly, and we have members all over town. If you have any questions, we have information for you, and would be glad to entertain any questions that you might have, or for you to become a part of our club here in Crestview. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Anybody here from the Sons of Italy? Daughters of Italy? Sisters of Italy? All right, nobody from Italy. I get it. Okay. Sorry. Anybody here from the senior circle? Anybody from the senior circle? I wouldn't know. I'm not old enough to be a member of that, right? Y'all can laugh at that one. Okay, how about the VFW Post 5450? VFW Post 5450. Okay. AMVETS Post 35. I know someone's there. All right, if we could, anybody going to speak? There we go. AMVETS Post 35.
Good evening. Thank you for having me tonight. I want to tell you a little bit about AMVETS because not everybody knows about us. We're open to all veterans who are honorably discharged, also active duty members and their families. We're located on John King Road, just across from Samuel's Steakhouse. It's a non-smoking, family-friendly environment. Well, some of the things we sponsor, of course, is we help out with USO. We sponsor some Cancer Society, St. Jude. We do lots of things for the local community too, including the homeless shelter here, because we are doing a homeless veterans stand down at the end of the week. We have already coordinated with Miss Ann, and we're going to, veterans who can't get down there, we're going to provide stuff, and we're going to transport it up here for your veterans. Also, we help with Air Force Enlisted Village, Children in Crisis, Children's Advocacy, Animal Welfare, many things that we are helping out with. We sponsor scholarships, and we'd love for you to come out and play golf in the spring. We give scholarships to seniors from Crestview High School, Baker, and Laurel Hill, as well as an in-house. This can range anywhere from, our total scholarships range anywhere from $7,000 to about $20,000. Depending on what we do as far as making up the money. We also offer holiday meals on wheels, and what we will do is we provide, with no questions asked, as many meals as somebody would like. They call up, tell us a good phone number and their location, and we send them out. Last Thanksgiving, we did about 280 meals. For Christmas, it's not quite as many because a lot of people are out of town and things like that on Christmas. We have, like I say, we're very safe. It's a great environment to be at. We have entertainment Friday and Saturday night. You can do a retirement party or a promotion party or a birthday party. We've even had weddings out there. Nice place to go. There's bingo every Wednesday. We have happy hour 4 to 7. We do have a canteen, full service. We have a covered smoking area. There's a playground. It is family friendly. In fact, we have a family fun day Sunday once a month on the third Sunday. We'd like to invite you all out just to see the post. You can come out 3 times without ever any having to join or anything like that. But if you're eligible, we'd love to have you as a member. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Liz. Anybody here from the Crestview Lions Club? Do I hear a roar out there? Lions Club? Nobody here. Okay. Anybody from the Carver-Hugh Museum? Anybody representing the Carver-Hugh Museum? Okay, thank you. If you all never been out there, you need to go out there. There's history. Yeah, that's Crestview history right there. Next group, I think I know we have somebody here from the sister cities.
Bonjour, y'all. The Crestview area sister
2 minutes,
city.
Brian. 2 minutes. I know you information, guys. 2 minutes.
Okay. The Crestview Area Sister City program has enjoyed a relationship with the island community of Noirmoutier, France. We are now in our 29th year, and this year alone, almost 100 people from Northwest Florida have gone to Noirmoutier under the auspices of relationship with our program, including 50-some students from Northwest Florida State College, whose show choir and traditional choirs performed in Noirmoutier in several venues. Over the summer, we had 3 students from Crestview High School and 1 student from Laurel Hill School stay with host families in a reciprocal agreement with students that they had hosted last fall. And then just last month, 27 of us went to Noirmoutier, and for the first time, we had a sitting mayor with us, and they were just very excited about having Mayor Whitten with us over there, and his lovely wife, the First Lady of Crestview, Miss Ann. We are a part of Sister Cities International, which was one of President Dwight Eisenhower's citizen diplomacy programs that was started in 1956. And he had seen that there had been this bit of something called World War II just a few years before that, at which time professional diplomats had kind of fallen down on the job. And he said, why don't we see how individual citizens can do? And that's exactly what we are. We are a cultural, we are a social, educational program. Anybody can join, and I tell you, we just don't sit around drinking wine and eating croissants, but we are a very active program in the cultural life of the community, and we invite you to join us. We have cultural activities in town, just wonderful get-togethers with lots of good food. Of course, it's France, you know, we're related with France. You have to have good food. And then every couple of years, we go over there. Our next trip will be May of 2021. And is that my two time?
Yeah,
okay. So, merci beaucoup, and come see us at our table there, and we can tell you more.
Thank you, Brian. Next group, I know we have some individuals, but I don't know if they want to speak or not, the Crestview Area Ministerial Association, CAMA. Anybody from CAMA want to speak? Anybody want to stand up? Do we have CAMA anymore? Yeah, I think we do. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, way in the back of the room, we have a couple individuals from Seniors versus Crime. Would you like to come forward and speak, please? I didn't do it.
Joe reminded me I only have 2 minutes.
Yeah.
My name is Paul Freeman, and at the table back there is Mr. Joe Laurie, our office manager. We have the opportunity to work under the leadership of our current mayor, which is a job I'm sure he'd be happy to hand off my person. We are a special project of the Florida Attorney General's office. The name is a little bit of a misnomer. We do not deal with crime. The guys in the blue over there, they deal with crime. We exist to mediate between a citizen and a vendor or somebody that's provided the service or failed to usually, and try to find a way to work things out, to get something fixed, returned, money returns, things paid for. There is no law that says somebody has to treat their customers right. So we can't make somebody do a better job of what they do for a living. That's just what they do. If there's a pattern of that, we ask to see if the Attorney General wants to look at that and there's been cases where that's happened. Sometimes we're very fortunate. Joe had a case where it was several thousands of dollars worth of flooring that was replaced under warranty after it was badly done. But most of what we settle are things that are fairly minor, as small as a water filter for an RV. Actually, that took us more time, I think, than the flooring. But we do ask that anybody that has a problem, it says 55 and over, but we really want to make sure that our seniors are protected from those phone calls you get, from unscrupulous people that ask you for money up front and never show up again. Those kind of things. And in my case, Joe and Bill, who was here at the time, it was over a bill from the nursing home, my rehab time after I had my stroke, which they tried to get me for $6,000. And they stood up for me and helped me understand how to navigate the system. And then they recruited me, which I'm very happy to offer that opportunity if you want to stop by our table and talk to Joe and I. We have a brochure that explains everything we do, and we cover an area large enough to cover the Hurricane Michael area all the way over to where Navarre picks up from us. So it's a very large area. It's a very, very comprehensive thing sometimes to deal with. But we're open on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10 a.m. to noon, and we have a phone. You can leave a message on if we're not there at the time, and we will get back to you. If you have any questions or any concerns about this, please do stop at the table. Thank you.
Hey, Paul, thank you. This is a mouthful. The Crestview Citizen Police Academy Alumni Association. I know you're back there. Come on down.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you. My name is Joey Underwood. I'm with the Crestview Police Academy alumni, and the group was formed in 2016. It's a non-profit organization. We help the police to do different events. A couple weekends, couple Saturdays ago, we helped the police officers cook hot dogs for the people that were cleaning up Allen Park in Crestview, and that turned out really well. My husband and I, we decided to do this, and it was free to join to do the class, and you learn all kinds of things, what the police do, what the firefighters, lawyers, different organizations come in and talk, and you have a tour of the jail, what goes on in the jail, things like that. And the next class, if you're interested in, starts in February, and in order to be in our group, you have to take the class and to be certified, and then you can join if you like. If not, that's fine. But we, help volunteer. We volunteer and to help citizens and the police officers with what they need. If you have any questions afterwards, I'm available and I can answer them more. Thank you.
Thank you, Diego. Next group I had on the list was the Crestview Bar Association. Then I realized I got confused. It was the wrong kind of a bar association, so I took them off the list. Okay. We do have the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. Now, I know we have at least one troop here. I'm not sure anymore, but at least one representative from the Boy Scouts, or you're the only representative. Come on down.
Yeah, good evening. Mayor Whitney, normally when I come up to talk about something, points at the clock and says 3 minutes.
I will
So
again.
Today I'm going to talk about 7 organizations, so I get 14, right?
No, you
Only
get 2.
Okay. So, in late 1921, early 1922, George Barrow and W.C. Webb gathered about 22 youth together and formed what was then known as Crestview Troop 1. On February 1st, 1922, they received a charter from the Boy Scouts of America, and scouting came to Crestview. The city was only 6 years old at the time. Most of those original 22 members at least have a street in town named after them. Over the years, the Boy Scouts of America organization has evolved and expanded its membership. In Crestview, we are served by 3 packs for boys and girls from kindergarten to 5th grade, and 4 troops, which serve 3 of them serve boys from 6th grade to 18 years old, and we have 1 serving girls from 6th grade to 18 years old. That just started, actually started that troop in February of this year. We're open to all youth in the area. There's Troop 33 and Troop 773 that are in Crestview. Troop 732 is also in Crestview. They're organized through the LDS Church. And we have Troop 532 that is out in Holt and serves that part of our area. We have Pack 799 and Pack 5, or they changed the number, I think they're 535 here in Crestview, plus Pack 732, the LDS Church, and Pack 532 out in Holt. So any young people that are looking for some adventure, we've got a lot of stuff for them to do. We sent scouts to West Virginia this year for the World Jamboree, where there were 50,000 scouts from around the world. Next summer, we are sending several scouts to Gdansk, Poland for the European Jamboree, which will consist mostly of scouts they'll represent the United States in Europe, with scouting in Europe. We've got our Philmont Scout Ranch in New Mexico, and Florida Sea Base down in Marathon Key that offer all kinds of things. Pretty much anything you can imagine the youth would want to do, they can do it through scouting. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it. Now, we had an individual from the Concord Lodge, a Masonic Lodge 50 early, but he had to leave. So, but I know we have representatives from the JRL Conyers Lodge. If you'd like to speak, come on up.
Good evening. I'm Malcolm N. Haynes, Sr. I'm speaking on behalf of JRL Conyers Lodge, but I will speak on behalf of my district, District 3 of the Most Worshipful Union Grand Lodge, Florida, Belize, Central America, St. John, U.S. Virgin Islands jurisdiction. Also included in our jurisdiction are the Ivory Coast and Germany. We have been serving the city of Crestview in this area since 1909. We were chartered in 1909, and we have been active, except for 2 years during the Second World War, when the concentration on the war itself caused most of our members to be away in the military. Our jurisdiction and our fraternity is a fraternal organization that is committed primarily to charity. We are an organization that operates under a charitable foundation, a 501c3 foundation. We also operate in the state as a not-for-profit organization. And the one thing that we do each year that some of you may know about is our Masonic District is responsible for the No Child Without Health Care Fair that's held in this city each year. Within our area, the Masonic District, are included 10 other organizations. Those organizations include 3 lodges, 3 Order of Eastern Star chapters. We have 1 Holy Royal Arch Mason chapter. We have 1 Royal Select Master Council, 1 Knights Templar Commandery, and we have 1 organization we're very proud of is the Youth Knights of Pythagoras organization, which serves to bring in children and to mentor boys primarily from the age of 5 to 18. We serve the city of Crestview, and anytime we can do anything for any other organization or anybody else in the city, please don't hesitate to contact us. We are at 502 McDonald Street, and I'm available most time, and JB can get in touch with me. Thank you.
Thank you, Malcolm. Whenever you see Masonic Lodge, you see Eastern Star. Do we have any representatives from the Eastern Star this evening? I know we do. Come on down.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mayor Whitting. It gives me a great honor to stand before you as the worthy matron of the Velma K. Conyers Chapter Order of the Eastern Star. We meet the Saturday before the first Sunday. Reverend Sanford Hayes, the New Life Missionary Baptist Church pastor, serves as our worthy patron. For more than 75 years, our 30 members and the support of our brothers at the JRL Conyers Lodge, we have provided 3 $500 scholarships each year. We assist in area feeding. We also help with the No Child Without Health Care Fair. We provide Thanksgiving baskets. We mentor young ladies, especially those in our Starlight groups. And we also assist in anything that the community needs help. We are here to serve God's people and are available to you. In addition to the Velma K. Conyers Chapter Order of the Eastern Star, while I'm here, Mayor, I'd like to say some other organizations who are not represented. We have the Friendly Thriftiates Club. President is Sister Anjanetta Patterson. We will be meeting in a few minutes, and we are preparing for our annual charity ball, which will be held December the 12th at 6 p.m. Tickets are $10. I'm also involved with the Okaloosa County Minority HIV/AIDS Task Force. We will be planning our World AIDS Day program, which is December the 1st. We also have a chapter of Delta Sigma Theta sorority in Okaloosa County. Our president is Sarah Ernestine Carswell. I stood earlier for the Carver Hill Memorial Historical Society. The president is Mr. David Willard. Also, we want you to know there is an organization which is entitled the Okaloosa County Chapter of FAMU Alumni. We are here to support Florida A&M University. The president is Dr. Vivian Green. If you have nothing to do, I promise you I can help you out with that. My number is 850-621-4187 if you have time on your hands. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Do we have anybody here from American Legion Post 395? I know we do.
Good evening. For those of y'all that don't know me, my name is Fletcher Williams Jr., and I'm the past state commander for the Florida American Legion 2011-2012. The American Legion was chartered by Congress in 1919, and the purpose of that was to work on veteran issues. But the main thing we do here in Crestview, number one is our law and order program. What that does is recognize the law enforcement officers throughout the community for the work that they do. While the law enforcement officers protect and serve us here at home, the military men and women are dispersed throughout the globe doing the same thing. We have a boys' state program. That's where incoming seniors, they go to Tallahassee, Florida State University for a week. There they learn about governing. They form a state of their own. They pass bills. They write laws. And basically they run the state for their time frame there. But the thing that I'm most proud of, as far as veterans are concerned, we have veterans right here in Okaloosa County that's incarcerated. And I spend a lot of time over at OCI when the veterans have programs, giving speeches to those veterans within the Okaloosa Correctional Institute. Just because they are incarcerated do not mean that they are not veterans. Now, yes, there are 2 American Legion posts here in Crestview. So I want to dispel the rumor right now. After 1965, when the headquarters in Indianapolis says you either integrate or you give us back your charter. That was in 1965. The group of people from 395, they don't smoke or drink, so they wanted a club of their own where they can work for the veterans. So that's why there's 2 American Legion posts in Crestview, because the members there, they don't drink or smoke, and they want to work for the veterans. So if any of you are interested in joining, please see me or see the mayor. He knows how to get hold of it.
Thank you, Fletcher. Anybody here from the Panhandle Saddle Club? They're having a midnight ride, maybe, I don't know. Okay. If you have any horses, I mean, that's a great organization. And I've been to their meetings, and I can't believe how many people they have at their meetings. A lot of interest in horseback riding. Concerned citizens of Crestview. Have any representative from that organization? Well, we sure do. Hey.
My name is Mary Williams, and I'm a member of the Concerned Citizens of Crestview. And my husband, Clayton Williams, is the president. And we have a prayer visual going on right now. That's why he couldn't make it. And that's our vice president and another member. And the Concerned Citizen was organized in the 90s by Miss Coleman. And then it went from under the city by Miss Coleman. And then from there it went to Miss Catherine Deutsch. And from there it went to my husband. My husband's been the president for about 4 months. Yeah, for about 4 months. And what the Concerned Citizen does, we're concerned about our community. And so we make sure our homebound senior citizen has a meal. And we feed twice a month. We feed on the 2nd Tuesday and the 4th Tuesday of each month. And we also have clothing. We provide clothing for the community. Yeah, we have a building up on Booker Street where they could come and get clothing, stuff that they may need. And also right now we're working trying to get something for our youth to do, to get them off the streets, because there's nothing to do. So we got a big task, and we do all our stuff off of donations, what we get. And the Lord has really provided for us. And That's what we do at the Concerned Citizen, and we are recruiting new members. We meet every first Thursday at 5 o'clock at Fairview Park. So if you're interested, let us know. We do the whole community. We feed the whole community. We go outside of our area. We do the whole community. Yeah. So we have a lot of homebounds. We have about 38 homebounds. Yeah, we have 38 homebound seniors that cannot get out, and sometimes they don't get a meal. Sometimes they eat the same thing. So we provide a good hot meal for them. The meal includes meat, desserts, starch, and vegetables. It's a pretty good meal. I'm not saying it because, I am a cook, but it's a pretty good meal. It's a pretty good meal. We feed them pretty good. And we feed tomorrow. We'll be up there at 3:30 tomorrow on Booker Street. We'd like to come out and take a look at what we do for the community. And I'm not going to stay. I'm not going to stay. I'm going to stay because I love wrestling, and wrestling is on. But if you interested in getting involved with us, you can get with the mayor. I think you talked to my husband quite a bit. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you get with Blake Williams. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Now I call on the oh, wait a minute. Excuse me. The North Okaloosa Amateur Radio Club.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mayor Witt and the rest of the City Council. My name is Bruce Adams, amateur radio call sign KA5DLV, and I'm representing the North Okaloosa Amateur Radio Club. So thanks again for this opportunity. The Federal Communication Commission defines amateur radio as a voluntary, non-commercial service. Therefore, we cannot get paid. So the second thing that the FCC mandates is that we strive for emergency communications, and we do a lot of that. Some of the purposes of the NOARC Club, which is 41 years old this month. We're a 501c3 entity. We also educate members and non-members to enhance the hobby. We also promote radio knowledge. Some of the things we've done here in the city, we've helped with parades. We also assist with the city and the county EOCs, the Emergency Operations Centers. We staff the shelters to provide backup communications, and we have classes, which I'm headed to now to do my teaching duty. So if you're having an event coming up that needs point-to-point communication or point-to-multiple people communication that you don't think cell phone will work, or if you want to back up, call us. You can contact us with business cards, some of the other members, we have flyers, or we have a very defined website at W4 Alpha Zulu W4AAZ.com. Again, Mayor, thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Now we have the Community Emergency Response Team, CERT. Are you still with us? There they are.
My name is Mark Brown. I'm the team chief for North Okaloosa Community Emergency Response Team. And we've been developing ourselves since 2012. Currently, we have 45 members that are ready to respond when anything gets above tropical storm force winds, 40 knots or more. And we've been developing ourselves here in Crestview. Our primary mission is to augment the emergency responders during the first 72 to 96 hours after a natural or man-made disaster. We prepare ourselves. Anybody that wants to be part of our team, we have a place for anybody on the team, regardless of your abilities, and we can fit you in. It all starts with filling out our basic training application. I'll be leaving these over on the fire department's table because we're having our monthly team meeting tonight. They're already convening over at Fire Station Number 1 up in the upstairs training room at Station 1. And I have our training coordinator, Leo, going around handing you handbills right now about how to get a hold of us with different points of contact, our website and our Facebook page and other ways, and little bits of information about us. We're a Citizen Corps program. Our whole training curriculum is designed by FEMA and firefighters. The basic course is 20 hours long, and we provide it over a period of 2 weekends. The course we're offering now starts this weekend, and then we'll be offering another one in the springtime. We have periodic training, advanced training that goes on in areas of emergency communications, traffic, crowd management, and other flood management and things that we can continue to prepare ourselves to respond. Our motto for our team is preparation equals performance. So our team members, they have varying degrees of expertise, and they bring their skill sets to the team. And so we keep our eyes on the weather during this season and all times around the year to see where we can help out and pitch in. All over North Okaloosa County, we have our team members positioned, and they're prepared to pick up the phone or other communication means to get in contact if they see anything that needs to be reported. We're sponsored by Okaloosa County and Crestview Fire Department. So we stand at the ready to help out in any situation.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mr. Mayor, if I could have 2 more minutes before we take off to our team meeting to speak about the Disabled American Veterans Chapter 57.
Okay, all right.
All right, thank you, sir.
I was going to call on the other organizations, so go ahead and represent them.
If you wouldn't mind. I'm also a chapter service officer. I didn't have my other shirt, but chapter service officer and adjutant treasurer for chapter 57 of the Disabled American Veterans chapter on 5296 Hare Street, 3 miles outside of town. Go east on Highway 90 from the intersection of 85 and 90. We're open Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We assist any veteran, their survivors, or their family members in any aspect of their disability claims. No charge to the veteran. We don't require membership. That's specifically what we do out of our chapter there. We have 2 service officers on call Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call ahead. If you want our phone number, 682-0982. Last year, we handled roughly over 500 claims, and we continue to train other service officers, so we continue to handle the caseload. So come out, visit us. If you have questions about your claims, just come on out, and we'll work with you at any stage in your claims process. So thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anybody here from the Crestview Chamber of Commerce? Okay, I wasn't sure if they're going to be here or not. Before I call any other organization, I just want to note that the Crestview High School Student Government Association was going to be here, but because of the rescheduled football game, obviously they had to cancel out. So at this time, is there any organization or club in the audience that I might have overlooked that would like to come up and speak on behalf of the group? Yes, Alex. Would you like to speak on behalf of the chamber?
All right, my name is Alex Barthay, and this thing is kind of flexible there. I am a board member for the Chamber of Commerce here in Crestview, also the franchisee for the UPS store for up here in Crestview, Eglin Air Force Base, Fort Walton Beach, also a member of the Fort Walton Beach Chamber. I think it's important for us to understand that the Chamber is very important. There's a lot of people that have businesses. It is an opportunity to get together and have like-minded individuals. If you're starting out, if you're thinking about it, it's a great place to come and try to interact and network with what you're trying to accomplish in your own business. The Chamber has been around for quite a while. It's very involved between Main Street Association and the city. And the whole idea is that we develop the business environment. So if you're interested, this city has tons of opportunities. One of the things I keep on hearing is that what we don't have, and I think people need to reflect and realize what we do have, and realize that these guys are really a great team working with local business to try to bring more amenities, more lifestyle things to this community. So if you're interested in business, come out to the Chamber. We have our breakfast the first Thursday up here. Tim Stewart is also a member of the Chamber on our Ambassadors Club. So there's a lot of great people doing some everyday hard work to try to bring some good things to this community. So if somebody's inclined, we've got a lot of veterans that are also interested in starting businesses when they transition from the military. Hey, I've been there, done that, and would love to help somebody to do that. So come check us out.
Thank you, Alex. Before I take any comments from the audience, any council members like to make any remarks? All right. Yeah, go ahead, Councilman Block.
I'm just thankful to be part of a team. This is my team right here. I thank you and appreciate you.
All right. Thank you. At this time, if there are no other clubs, anybody in the audience want to come up and speak to the city council about anything, let me know and I'll let you come up here. Any other comments from the audience? Seeing none, I believe this calls for an adjournment. Thank you all for coming.